What is going on, guys? Hello again. We're doing another edition of Talking Sports with Coach. Looks like I don't have a hat today. I'm not wearing a hat today. I feel like so out of place not wearing a hat. So I'm gonna wear this right here. Hold on. There we go. That feels better. And that actually might make Jersey Kua mad, which that's what we're trying for. I mean, we're honestly trying for that. We're trying to make Jersey mad as much as possible. You know, I don't know. Do you like my hat, Jersey? Is it a pretty good hat? I mean, I know it has nothing to do with football, but I mean, pretty good hat, eh? You know what I mean? I look like Pete Rose. So anyway, let's get this show started with a guy that you guys enjoy. Everyone's like, whoa, where's he at? We want to hear from him. We don't like the guy that hosts the show. We like the guy that is the guest. And seems like he's taking over the show. Amazing dude. Pizza lover. And we're going to ask him in just a second what his favorite pizza is and if pineapple belongs on pizza. But that is Allan Bell Jr. from Sportsline.com. What's going on, my man? How you doing today?
What's up, brother? I'm good, man. You doing okay?
Man, we're chilling. Just kind of enjoying myself. I didn't have a hat to start the show because I usually wear a hat. And so I have like these two like replica baseball, helmets. And I'm wearing my Atlanta Braves hat to make Jersey Kua mad for wearing it.
There you go.
He doesn't like it, but we're gonna enjoy it, man. It's gonna be fun.
There we go.
He said he's on Pete Rose and John Olrud love child. Yeah, right. Sure, buddy. We saw his whole face area. Yeah, I know. I shaved, so I made Perfect Lies happy. So if she's here today, she'll see that I shaved, and then she's like, yeah, you don't look scary anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. So anyway, let me ask you one question, because you're a pizza guy, and does pineapple belong on pizza?
Ooh, for me, no. For anybody else, if you like it, yeah. Like, I'll say this. I'm certainly not somebody that will tell other people what to do, what to have. But I'm not a fan, only because I don't like differing temperatures.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
I don't like pineapple's supposed to be cold, right? Like it's fruit.
Right.
But I don't like it like cold on a hot pizza. So it's not for me. But if other people like it, do your thing, man.
The only thing that has to be cold in any kind of meal for me is pickles, like tomatoes or onions. Like I just can't do it. I have to have like caramelized onions, or I have to have like tomatoes, like, good and sauced up. You know what I mean? It's all about texture for me. And with pineapple on pizza, man, I'm a guy that's like I'll go get like a sausage pizza or sausage and ham or something like that. No pineapple and ham. But man, you got to get like the meat lovers, or like you got to get like some kind of I saw this one time, it was a chicken pizza. They did like a chicken pizza with ranch. Now it was pretty bad apparently because it was on Kitchen Nightmares. But if you perfect that, I will buy one of those. You know what I mean? Like if you can perfect a chicken pizza with ranch, I will eat anything with ranch. And also I eat my pizza with ranch, or I eat my ranch with pizza. Do you agree?
Yeah, I had my
He's
old
like,
baseball coach. No, my old baseball coach in school, he loved pizza with ranch. That's what he ate. And I didn't like it or dislike it per se.
Right.
I was like kind of indifferent. Like I didn't like it, but he swore by it. Like that's all he would do. So yeah, I totally get it. Like that's like a popular thing.
Yeah, I'll be right there with you. They're saying pickles on pizza. I might try that. Every time that I get Firehouse, I always got to get like a pickle or two, because it's like it makes the sandwich.
Oh, I love pickles. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not putting it on pizza.
So no pickles on pizza. He says if you do like pineapple on pizza, you can have it, but he's not for him. So let's talk football, man, and let's start with the Carolina Panthers. A lot of new stuff going on. McCaffrey gets a 99 rating because he's the most amazing back ever, which I mean, pass catching, running the ball. It's a guy that, I mean, any team would love to have Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, he would start on any team possible. Coach is gone. Cam Newton's gone. It's Teddy Bridgewater's team. What are your What are your thoughts on the Carolina Panthers?
Yeah, so they've had a lot of change, man.
Yeah.
You know, moving on from the Ron Rivera era, like that's pretty much all they knew. You know, other than like John Fox to begin with, right? Like
Right.
Ron Rivera was that franchise, right? So you move on from Ron Rivera and Cam Newton. It's a lot of change, dude. It's a lot of things going on, but I'll say this. I like their head coach. I like Matt Rule. I like Joe Brady coming from LSU. They're, you know, offensive guru up there. You get Teddy Bridgewater. I like Teddy. I've always been a Teddy fan. I don't know exactly what you're going to get. I hope that they get, you know, exactly what we saw in New Orleans last year. But we'll see. Chris McCaffrey is the most versatile player in the NFL. He's a stud on all levels. And, you know, their schedule works for him this year.
Yeah.
You know, they've only got 5 games against playoff teams from last season. You know, they do have a tough stretch of quarterbacks, right? Like them and the Falcons are the only team that's going to face Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes. Like those 4 QBs are 6 of their 16 games.
Yeah.
So that part's tough. So you know, let's be completely honest of what our expectation level is. But they're kind of in a big transition phase. Got, you know, your new quarterback in there. You know, you saw what they did in the draft. They went all defense. I think, all 7 picks were on defense, right?
Right.
So, you know, they clearly see where their deficiencies were and where this division is. It's an offensively built, you know, division. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting a ton out of them. So, what I mean is, you know, big expectations for them. So, I don't know what that rule's about, what Joe Brady's about, what Teddy Bridgewater's about. We'll see, you know, if the team can get better this season.
I feel like Teddy Bridgewater, not only, I mean, injury prone, but just never really given a chance other than last year, you know, just having the great run that he had with the Saints and you know, obviously getting in the contract that he has now. I mean, what are your thoughts with just Teddy Bridgewater, you know, joining the team? I mean, I love the addition of Derrick Brown. If you look at Derrick Brown, I mean, the man had a double team probably every single play and still made plays. This man, he looked like a man amongst boys out there in college ball. And you know, I just cannot wait to watch him play. I mean, I enjoyed getting to go to every game and watch him just dominate the offensive line. And I really cannot wait to see him in the pros. But I mean, what are your thoughts about Teddy Bridgewater? And do you think that he can have some of the same success? Can you even say something like that? Can he have the same success that he had early on for New Orleans?
Well, it's gonna be tough because he doesn't have the same team.
Yeah.
In Carolina that he had in New Orleans. I mean, you know, a lot of that was Teddy Bridgewater. He was playing unbelievable football, and he's been an unbelievable quarterback. You know, he's just been an injury-filled start, stop type career. So, you know, this is kind of, you know, the break that, you know, he's been looking for. Okay, you're on a team that's yours. You're healthy. New coaching staff, they all believe in you. I mean, because he's an unbelievable being. He's a great guy. So we'll see, man. Like, you know, he just has to stay healthy. Like, if he gets hurt again, you know, then you're looking at, just not good. You know, because now you're looking at a quarterback that's essentially been hurt almost every year of his career, right? So
right.
I think the biggest thing for him is just to be healthy. Just get through this.
Yeah, I think we kind of look at it, and you know, I'm not seeing Will Grier come out of nowhere and take the starting job out of camp from him. No. And what happened? Did I miss something? What happened to Allan?
Kyle Allen?
Yeah.
In Washington, he went with Ron Rivera.
Ah, okay. So he went with him. So that's basically he went.
So that's good. So yeah, you don't have, you know, the Kyle Allen experience, you know, behind you. So I mean, this is his job. Like,
yeah.
This is his deal. He just has to stay healthy.
Right. That's what I get from missing. How in the world did they pull the Chiefs? because let's just talk about the predictions on how they finish in the season. They went 5-11, but how in the world? I mean, you obviously got to play, like we said, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, but I mean, to pull the Bears, the line. I mean, they obviously have the NFC North, but to pull the Broncos, to pull the Chiefs, how in the world did they get away with pulling the NFC West like that, or the AFC West like that, and just happened to getting a gauntlet of just games?
It's brutal, dude. And like, look at the stretch. Look at week 7 to week 10. Okay, week 7 at the Saints, Drew Brees. Week 8, Falcons, Matt Ryan. Week 9 at the Chiefs, Mahomes. Week 10 versus the Bucs, Brady. Like, like they go through that like 4 in a row. It's tough, man. Like,
and depending on how, I mean, they also get their random game. They get the Cardinals, and that game alone right there, I'm just looking at that game and I'm thinking, you know, it's at home, but I mean, we don't know what this Cardinals team can look like. I mean, this Cardinals team might be light years better than last year, and it could be a gauntlet. It could just be like,
all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Raiders are going to look like first game of the season, but they get the Chargers, they get the Cardinals. I mean, even the Chargers, I mean, I'm kind of wondering what the Chargers are going to look like. I'm watching Hard Knocks every day, and I'm sure you are too, but, you know, I'm just kind of wondering, you know, I'm looking at this. I mean, even the game against the Lions not at the Lions, but versus the Lions, then at the Vikings right after. I mean, even with Matt Stafford, I don't even know what the Lions could put up against them. You know, I mean, I'm thinking maybe that they end up winning 5 or 6 games again.
Oh yeah, I mean that's where it's going to be. Short time, we've got it at 6.2.
Yeah.
So you know, but all things considered, that schedule, that's not bad. That shows the team got better. So, like, this one is just gonna be a rock cutter all year. Like, it's not gonna be pretty. It's gonna be easy any week. But again, you know, it's just Teddy's just got to get to the season. Like, we can't have another, you know, broken leg, you know, in week 3, because then you're looking at it saying, okay, we're not going to be good this year.
Yeah.
Might not be good next year. The NFL's pretty quick to fire head coaches. I have to go find a new quarterback right now. And that's exactly what they'll do. You know, because they'll say, look, we love you, Teddy, but we just cannot trust you. If you're not healthy, there's nothing that we can do. So Teddy Bridgewater has to stay on the field this year. He just has to stay on the field. If he does that, and it'll be next year, and he got a shot. Like, he could be good. But, you know, he goes down at week 3, just call it a wrap. It's done.
Yeah. Well, we kind of expect, new head coach, new system, new quarterback. It's just going to be a whole new experience, and that's just kind of what they're going to get with. Now we move on to a team that literally Teddy Bridgewater just came from, and a team that we feel like has a really good chance to win the division. I would think that Atlanta, New Orleans, or Tampa Bay all have a really good chance to win the division. I'm kind of holding Carolina out a little bit. Maybe we'll just kind of see. But with New Orleans, what are your thoughts? And not a lot of draft picks this year. Is it gonna help them or hurt them?
I think it's indifferent. I think that their achievements are pretty loaded at what they are. Like, they don't need a lot of starting, additions. I think the New Orleans is going to be a fantastic football team. I think if you look at the Saints, 49ers, Ravens, and Chiefs, those 4 teams are so far ahead of everyone else in the NFL. They make up 67% of the statistical probability to win the Super Bowl this year. 67%.
Wow.
Between those 4 teams. That's how far ahead those 4 are of everyone else. So, but again, understand, New Orleans has been good the past couple of years. And that doesn't mean that they get or win a Super Bowl, because they haven't gotten anywhere with it yet.
Yeah.
Right? So, we'll see. But they're going to be good. I mean, they're going to be a fantastic team, no doubt. And again, there's really no questions. The only question with them is, can you get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
You know, because that's really it. Like that's the only question for them. The only question for Kansas City, Baltimore, and San Francisco. Can you get to the Super Bowl? That's it. So yeah, I mean, their schedule actually kind of works out. They got some tough games for sure, but it's not that bad of a schedule. They got 3 straight road games after Thanksgiving, but other than that, it's a pretty workable schedule, man.
Yeah, and I really I like their defense. I think their secondary is very strong. I mean, I think their pass rush is very strong. I think they're kind of weak at the linebacker position, but I'm liking the offense, man. I mean, you can get another 99 Madden character, which I still don't agree with, by the way. A tight end who likes to play wide receiver, Michael Thomas. And to get Emmanuel Sanders as well, a veteran wide receiver that even now he can still put up some great numbers as being that second guy. And he's always been kind of that second guy. And then, if Alvin Kamara can be, a little bit better than he was last year, Drew Brees is backing up Jameis Winston. You got Taysom Hill, the all-around guy. I like what they have because they just seem so talented along the defensive side of the ball that the offense, even as much talented as it is, I mean, it just, I think it's at times it does underperform, but also I just feel like that their defense has saved them a lot of times in games. And then, if you need Drew Brees late in the game, you got him, Yeah.
I mean, that's how this team is built, man. That they are a championship caliber team, and again, really the only question is, can you do it? Can you live up to it? And, if you don't, it's not like some, massive indictment because, let's be honest, dude.
Right.
It's hard to make the Super Bowl. It's hard to win a Super Bowl. It's hard, but that's where you're at. And it's good to have those high expectations. It's hard to live up to them. But that's exactly where you want to be, Not every team gets to come into the season with a legit shot at winning a Super Bowl. I know we say every team has a chance, because it's a brand new season. But the Bengals aren't winning the Super Bowl, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Saints can't do it. Now they just have to go out and get it done.
So they get their 2 weird games. They get versus 49ers at home. They get at Eagles. That's going to be that's another tough. The NFC South, literally, if you go look at the NFC South, no matter, even if they have a veteran quarterback, MVP type caliber quarterback, they still have one of the hardest schedules, it seems like, in the NFL. And with the addition of the 49ers and the Eagles, that's just 2 more hard games for the Saints to get through.
Yeah, we've got the 49ers and the Chiefs. You got both teams from the Super Bowl last year. An interesting stat about their schedule is that, they host the Vikings on Christmas Day. It's the first Friday game in the NFL since 2009.
Wow.
So we haven't seen a Friday NFL game in 11 years. So yeah, and that's against the Vikings, another really good team.
Yeah.
Like, the Vikings are a fantastic football team. So at least they got it home. But still, yeah, I'm with you, man. Like, the schedule isn't easy.
Yeah, because the South literally gets the AFC West and the NFC North. And then they get a random NFC West game and an NFC East game. It's just, or the place that they finished last year. So what do you have them at Sportsline? They had 13 wins last year. Do they is it over? Is it under? What?
It's under. We've got them at 10.4 wins this year, and again, that might sound bad. NFL, there's a lot of good teams. I don't know how many, we don't have a single team, get 12 wins and over.
Yeah.
Like, the Ravens are the closest, they're at 11.9, it just goes to show, like, the league is distributed well, with good teams. But again, like I said, that puts them clearly as the second best team in the NFC. They'd be the 3rd best team in the AFC. So the Saints going to be good, man. Like, it's their division to lose. It's going to be them and the 49ers, for the NFC as a whole.
Right. So let's move on to the Buccaneers because we're going to save the best team for last. Ha! Biased. I'm over here just playing bias them. So let's look at it. we're looking at Tampa Bay 7-9. Obviously not the same team. They had a quarterback who threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. We won't name his name, but we know who it is. But it's still a productive offense, it seems like, even with the Jameis Winston. But now Tom Brady, the GOAT, as we like to call him, they get Gronk as well. I mean, but Gronk, he's not in that Florida shape yet, as he likes to call it. What are your thoughts, man? I mean, is this they got all the weapons in the world? Will Tom Brady lead them to the Super Bowl?
I don't know about a Super Bowl because the NFC's hard.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be good. I mean, they're going to be a 9 to 10 team, right? Their schedule works out for them. It is difficult, obviously, what we talked about with the NFC South. Because they've got to face, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Matt Ryan. It's going to be hard, but their schedule is much more flexible. In their final 9 weeks of the year, they only have one trip that's more than a 2-hour flight. So you've got some perks in there that work out for you. Their offense is going to be fantastic. Tom Brady's going to do what Tom Brady does. But that's in the air. I don't know what they do on the ground. Their offensive line has, some ways to get better. Their run game certainly could use some juice. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to be a better team than they were. But I don't know, people that are, marking, penciling them in for the Super Bowl, I'd hold off on that. Like, there's teams that are much, much better than them in the NFC.
Yeah, really, it's going to be a gauntlet. They get the Saints, the Panthers, the Broncos, and the Chargers the first 4 games. The first 6 games they get the Packers as that 6th game.
Yep.
The last 3 games they play the Falcons twice. And this is, it's always, even before, I was always afraid of going into a Tampa Bay game as a Falcons fan, because it was always like a weird, because the defense could hold up, and that's the thing that people don't talk about is Tampa Bay's defense and how underrated they are, that they have really saved them in a lot of games. But it was also that, it just felt like the Falcons secondary obviously just get beat up every single time by Mike Evans. Just whoever, Chris Godwin, whoever, by the Tampa Bay Bucks. And now with Tom Brady, you got Gronk, you got OJ Howard. And the thing about OJ Howard is I feel like OJ Howard hasn't even really come out yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like OJ Howard, not only being injury prone, but just I honestly thought when he was going to go in the pros, he was probably going to be one of the best tight ends in the league. And that might have been my Alabama bias a little bit. But, it's crazy to think that, I don't think OJ Howard's had more than 5 touchdowns in a season. And with Gronk there, I feel like he's going to be, I think he should be able to have at least 10 touchdowns this year. He should be wide open every single time with all the talent around him.
With all the talent and a quarterback who loves tight ends.
Yeah.
Tight ends. Tom Brady will make a tight end and a pass-catching running back. He'll send them to the Pro Bowl. Like, that dude loves those guys. So, yeah, he's going to get action. He's going to get a ton of it in the red zone, too. Yeah, I'm with you on that, man.
And with Ronald Jones, I think that's a great running back. They got Shady McCoy to throw it out of the backfield, too. I honestly thought maybe they were going to sign Devontae Freeman, which I guess that guy's ego is just way too big that he just doesn't. Dude, it's just like, dude, sign with a team. It's like nobody's gonna pay you running back money. I'm sorry. I've got the jersey right behind me. It makes me sick every day I put it on. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just it just hurts to like think that that he doesn't have a team, and then you've got a guy in Shady McCoy backing up. Look, seems like he just wants to join Tampa Bay in case they might make a Super Bowl run and possibly well, he has a ring from the Chiefs. So, maybe he can get a second one, going with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's got one with the Chiefs, and he really didn't play that much. Now he's going to get one with Tampa Bay, possibly. So, I hope they don't. And a team that had, like I said, a quarterback that threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions last year still went 7-9. Okay, and I can only imagine that. And what are the lines on Sportsline? What do you have him at? And do you agree?
Yeah, we got him at about 8.8.
Okay.
Anywhere from 8 to 10. I think 10 being a little high.
Yeah.
But with Tom Brady, you never know. That's only that's stealing one game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we'll put it right at a 9 and 7. That sounds about right for them.
All right, we're moving on. Finishing up right here with the team that everybody wants to hear. I know Steele doesn't want to hear it. He's just over here. He's saying I'm sounding nervous about Tampa Bay. I'm not nervous about Tampa Bay. I was always nervous about Tampa Bay because I'm always nervous about the Falcons and their secondary and just how awful I've just been watching some just terrible play of just where I know that they can beat this team and yet they still try to just fool around and lose ball games, to just some bonehead plays, whether it's a holding call or a defensive holding or defensive pass interference or something. I've watched too many games like that. I'm glad Trufant is gone. Watch him go and play better for the Lions than he ever has for the Falcons. Watch Vic Beasley play better than he ever has for the Titans than he ever will for the Falcons. I mean, it's just crazy to think that anyone that ever plays in an Atlanta franchise that goes somewhere else and they play 10 times better. I will never understand. I will never understand that. So let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons and let's talk about what we expect, what I expect out of them, but what you predict out of them. I wasn't a huge fan of AJ Terrell, but he's turning heads in practice. I love the Marlon Davidson addition and the Matt Hennessy pickup. I felt like they did really, really well in the draft.
Yeah, I thought they have, and it's what we talked about in the last that Atlanta has no reason not to be as aggressive as possible because, this is kind of it for your head coach and your GM. Like, you either get it right or you get another job.
Yeah.
So there's no point not to be as aggressive. I know that they wanted to move up a little bit in the first round, but it didn't necessarily work out, but I like the way that their draft ended. There's no reason not to spend every dollar. There's no reason not to explore every single free agency move that you can, because again, there's no tomorrow. So what I want to see out of this team is I want to see what we saw at the end of last season.
Yeah.
This team looked motivated. It looked fired up. I don't want to see boring Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought you were a legend, man. Everyone in Seattle praised you. You took a team to a Super Bowl. Don't give me this high school airy, clap your hands, stuff while everything's blowing up around you. Go. You got talent, dude. Be good. Let me say this, and I only get fired up because I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Dude, you have Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. What are you doing? Score points. You know what I'm saying? That's what frustrates me the most with the Falcons is that you have stars everywhere on offense. Score.
Yeah.
Score. What are you doing? That's what frustrated me so much last year. So that's what I want to see. Come out and score points. If your defense, again, if it needs a little bit of adjustment period to get back to where they were at the end of last year, so be it. Put up 30-something points. Have the offense help them. That's what I want to see. Matt Ryan, dude. Who are you? How are we going to remember you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How are we going to remember you? I think this is a big year for it. Are you an all-pro quarterback or not? It's just a big proving year for a lot of people because if I were Arthur Blank,
yeah,
and I'm looking around, and there are high-paid players everywhere on this team, and it doesn't work out, all of you can go because I don't need you, right?
Yeah.
Think you are. If you get rid of the head coach, I'm getting rid of Matt Ryan. If I get rid of the head coach, I'm not getting rid of Julio Jones, but there's going to be a lot of people gone because I don't need you. I'm paying you, you're not doing anything, right? So I think this is a big proof for a lot of people. And they could be good. But
Yeah.
They start out the season last year, they lose to Georgia State, and they lose to BYU. Guess what? I was talking on, another radio station this week in Knoxville, and they were like, what do you think about Tennessee going to South Carolina week 1? I said, you know what? There's one team in the country that should not be flat-footed on week 1, and it's Tennessee because of what they did last year, right? Like, I think the Falcons are kind of in that same boat. Like, come out firing. Be aggressive. Like, if it's week 1 and we're looking at the Falcons and it's just like spoiling, tepid, we don't want to make any mistakes, let's get ourselves in the fourth quarter. Just go ahead and fire everybody down because there's no point for that. You have to play aggressive.
Yeah, and we're sitting here talking about so many first-round draft picks that are on this team. It doesn't really mean much. Just on paper it does, but on the field you really have to produce. I'm really loving the offense. I think that we have a better, not only pass catching tight end now, but we also have a better run blocking tight end, and they're going to get back to running the ball. And Dirk Cutter already said that, he was going to have to, he's going to do a lot better in his second year with the Falcons. And it was like, yeah, you better. Because the thing is you've already had this success with Matt Ryan before. How do you have better talent? How do you have if you have Todd Gurley, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, you better do better than what you've done in the past because of what, from what compared to the talent that you've had. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just, that's expected. And I felt like, there was a lot of great additions last year. I felt like they just took a book out of the Dallas Cowboys. Drafted 2 linemen last year, drafted a lineman this year, really, bolstered and really helped that offensive line with Alex Mack and Jake Matthews. I just really hope that, Jake Matthews just really plays to his potential this year, and really just continues to, be that first round draft pick that we expected him to be. And just really continue, because as soon as we got Alex Mack, it just seems like it fit for him. He's always been that consistent great center. And then I look at the defensive side of the ball, and I kind of expected big things out of Allen Bailey, not really, but Grady Jarrett obviously is the leader, and I need Takk McKinley to do something. I just need Takk McKinley to be something, because he's almost right there with Vic Beasley. You know what I mean? It's like, well, which one could we give up? You know what I mean? And then Dante Fowler, I think that was a great pickup. I think with the addition of Takk McKinley, Dante Fowler, Deion Jones, of course, he's going to keep playing the way he does. I think if Keanu Neal can stay healthy, it's just that's the bugaboos. It just seems like if health is a big factor, this could be just another 8-8, 7-9 season.
Yeah, I think that it's time for the excuses to be over with.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of hearing them. I'm tired of hearing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm tired of hearing Dan Quinn talk about anything but winning. I'm tired of hearing Thomas Dimitroff talk about anything but winning. I'm tired of it, man. Like, how the Titans were for 2013 to 2017. It was so much talk. Yeah. And it was nothing was being proven on the field. But everybody had something to say, and it was like, dude, I'm tired of hearing about it. Like, either get good or don't. Yeah. Or get rid of everyone that's out here. So anyway, they've got the talent to do it. They can be a very good team. But they've got to do it. Their schedule, they got 3 of their final 4 games are on the road. But they're winnable games. Obviously, the Chiefs are one of them. It's kind of the same schedule we talked about. All the other teams, it's difficult, but it's doable.
Yeah, Seattle and Dallas first up on the season. First 2 games of the season, and then at home against Chicago. 7-9 last year. Can they get to 9-7, 10-6?
They can. Do they? I don't know. At 9-7, I think it's extremely more doable than wins. Sportsline, we got it at about 7 wins. Yeah. So they're going to steal 1 or 2. Because they can do it. There's talent everywhere on this team. Like, I'm just. Dan Dan Quinn frustrates me. Like, and I'm not even a Falcons fan, but that dude he just frustrates me. Like,
you're not wrong.
Yeah, you see that face and like the bald head, the mustache, the beard. It's just got that. He reminds me of Ken Wisenhunt.
Yeah.
In a sense, because they kind of look like each other. Ken Wisenhunt, and they're not the same guy. Ken Wisenhunt's a jerk. Dan Quinn's a good guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just that same. I know what I'm doing. They just hear all week, and then it gets to Sunday, and you don't know what you're doing. It's clearly evident. So I think that the Falcons did well last year. I want to see it. I want to see it start immediately. I don't want to see any of this waiting until week 4 to get our offense fired up. No, dude.
Yeah.
Like, everybody should be ready to go. Everyone needs to know right now in training camp what time it is. Right? Like, everyone has to know. Like, there are no wasted minutes with this team. You cannot afford it. Cannot afford it. So I'll stop ranting on that. But like, it frustrates me because this team can be so good, and it's like they just refuse to. Like they just wait. So just be aggressive. If this team is aggressive, man, like that's one thing that I've loved about Belichick forever. And trust me, I get it when you have Tom Brady, it's much easier. But Bill Belichick plays aggressive football. Yeah. Like he plays aggressively because that's the game rewards you for being aggressive. I'm not saying be stupid. Yeah. And be like too overconfident, but be aggressive. Like that's what I want to see. I want to see, the early Dan Quinn Falcons. Like those teams, like that Super Bowl team was aggressive. They took shots, man. Like I want to see that again. So hopefully we do.
I completely agree with you, man. I mean, even as a fan, man, I just, I expected more. I think ever since the getting to experience 2016 season, watching the Super Bowl, crying after the Super Bowl, getting that stupid Gatorade commercial for a solid year after the defeat. And that commercial, I still bring up that commercial every time that they're just like, oh, we're trying to do better. This is going to be another year. This is going to be another great year, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we haven't done anything since that commercial. I'm glad that commercial is no longer on TV. I'm so glad that was just such a money grab by Matt Ryan. And I hate it. You know what I mean? But it's like, dude, get your head right. Be that quarterback. Stop looking like Bambi Deer out there. I'm going to go on a rant for a little bit. Stop looking like Bambi Deer back there. Stop being so hesitant. Oh, I also want to know your thoughts on something else as well. But I'm just saying that it's just so, like you said, it does not make sense that this team cannot win 10 games almost every, like for at least for the last 5 years. And it's always mediocre play for the last 5-6 years, 7-9, 8-8. I mean, it's I'm tired of it. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll say this, and we'll stop ranting right there because we can go all day. But I've got some friends that are Packers fans. Yeah. And they've said the same. Like before this past year, when Green Bay went through the NFC Championship, but really leading up to Mike McCarthy being fired, like they would have the same conversation that we are now. Yeah. They would just scream. And like, I got it, because it was like, we have arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. We have talent all over the field. Like, what are we doing? Yeah. We should have 3 Super Bowls. Yeah. And like, at least disagree with them. I was like, I completely agree. I was like, you're getting a sense of urgency from your quarterback and no one else. Like, it's like no one else is like, it's like on vacation time, Like, everybody's just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll get to it. And Aaron Rodgers is like, let's go. And it's like the Falcons' entire team. It's like, you need to take a lighter and just put it under them, and say, you don't have time. There is no time. Like, go now. Play one. We're going deep. Like, we have to be aggressive. You know what I mean? So, anyways, we'll stop ranting on that. Like, that's what I want to see. No, Like, again, I want to see a team play angry. Yeah. Like, this team can be so much better than it is.
So, I want to ask you one question, and I'll get you out of here. I've been watching this guy. He's a really good Call of Duty player, but he's our third string quarterback. And I've been following this guy since we drafted him. A guy out of Virginia, Kurt Benkert. Is this a guy that the Falcons are really looking forward to in the future, or is this just another guy, camp arm, a guy that if there's something new and shinier in the next 2 years, do the Falcons go that route?
I mean, you never know. Like, right? So like, nobody else is gonna get a real shot. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Like that's hard part of quarterback. Like, think about this. In 1 month, Jarrett Stidham went from starting quarterback of the New England Patriots to now he's probably going to be on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Right? Like the quarterback position, dude, is different. Like, you just don't know. Things can change. Like, there's usually not a ton of change at that position, but when it happens, it's big. So, I don't know. I mean, we just got to see it with an actual real shot instead of what people think, what people say. Like, just got to get on the field and go when there's an actual real shot yet. So, not to give you a non-answer, but I'm giving you an honest answer. We just don't know. Yeah,
so still says drafting position based on COD skills. Yes, that's how we draft. I mean, that's how we've drafted since 2015.
On COD skills.
We have nothing but COD players on our team. I mean, that's like every professional athlete now. All these guys game. I mean, pretty much all these guys game. That was literally like 40% of what the guys do in the NBA bubble. I mean, it was just nothing but gaming.
Oh yeah.
So, but that's the new thing. I mean, that's the new norm. I mean, that's what people during a pandemic love to do. Before and after a pandemic. So, man, I greatly appreciate you getting on with us. I know I'll talk to you on Monday. Man, I hope you enjoyed the new time slot. And I appreciate you, as always, getting to talk with the fam.
Yeah, definitely, buddy. Yep, I like the new time slot. Yeah. Unfortunately, man, talk to you Monday and talk to you next week.
Well, tell them where they can reach you, and you have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, man, sportsline.com. Check us out. You can get me at Allan Bell 247 on Twitter.
All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we'll talk to you Monday.
You too, brother. Thanks, man.
See you. There you go. Allan Bell Jr. does a great job, right, Steele? Does an amazing job covering the NFL for Sportsline.com. I always like talking to that guy. He does a really good job. He actually talks to 2 radio stations where I live at, and he's a guy that does he's at camp right now with the Titans. And so I messed up the schedule. I meant to put the AFC South today. We did the NFC South today. So next week we'll finish up our whole NFL predictions, breakdowns, season guessing, whatever. We'll finish that next Saturday, same time. I'm going to end the show technically, so I can clip it, and I'll have it on YouTube in about an hour. I've got a few things I've got to do today. I'm going to get on later today, but I may be on the phone app because I can't bring my computer to that house because there's no real place for me to like set up. So that's why I had to come back and kind of do a few things here. So anyway, I got to go do some things. I'm going to end the show. Steele, I'll see you later. Have a good rest of your day. And I'll see everybody that came by. Jersey Qua, Hale, Litmidgy, Steele. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody? I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Did you enjoy the show today? Did I miss anybody? I don't think I missed any. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so I'm going to end it so I can clip it. Like I said, we're going to do some more stuff. I talked to a guy that does college football. We're going to talk to another guy probably maybe next week. And then also, I'm going to try to get in touch with a former NFL player. And probably talk to him as well the following week, because we'll be done with the predictions and everything like that. So I'll do the Allan predictions next week and then probably do the following week with those 2 guests. So it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of college filled, since college will be starting, you know, in literally a month. So, you know, if you're SEC, ACC, or Big 12. Anyway, so everyone have a good rest of your day. I'm going to get out of here. I will see you later. So bye.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Roll Tide.
I'm handsome, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
They might be going to call George Brett out.
Well, he's out.
Yes, sir.
Brett is out. Look at this. Brett is out.
He's
And
steaming mad.
he is out.
Swung, fly ball deep left center, Grissom on the run. Yes! 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 The Atlanta Braves have given you a championship.
Auburn going after it. Here's a good snap. It is blocked. It is blocked. It's caught on the run. It's caught on the run. He's going to score. David Wagner. David Wagner has scored. And Auburn is tied the game.
It's good! It's good! It's good! It's good! It's good! It's good! Van Tippen has won the ball game. Alabama has beaten Auburn!
I'd like for the people to remember